Today, we're diving into a classic fable about a very simple choice. Do you get up and work, or do you just sleep in? For a goat named Chameli, this one decision kicks off a chain reaction that is, frankly, catastrophic. We're going to unpack how one little act of laziness spirals into starvation, theft, and a tragedy that changes her life forever.
So let's start right there with the big question. I mean, we've all felt it, right? That powerful urge to just do nothing. But this story takes that feeling and pushes it to its absolute extreme. What really happens when a mother's desire for a little more sleep ends up threatening to tear her family apart?
All right, so let's meet our main character, Chameli. Now, the central conflict here doesn't start in some dark, spooky forest. Nope, it starts right in her own home, with the sound of her hungry children crying.
And here it is, the first big red flag. On one side, you have this simple, desperate plea from her kids. They haven't eaten since last night. But look at her response. It's not compassion, it's just pure annoyance. For her, their hunger isn't a problem to be solved, it's an interruption to her sleep. This one little exchange tells you everything you need to know about her priorities.
And this really is the heart of the matter. Her laziness isn't just some quirky personality trait, it's the engine driving this whole story. It's this deep need for rest that outweighs everything else, even her most basic instincts as a mother. This single character flaw is about to dictate every single choice she makes from here on out.
So, after her kids finally get her out of the house to find food, Chameli is immediately faced with choices. But her guiding philosophy is always the same: find the path that takes the least amount of effort.
And this is where her laziness really starts to lead her down a dark path. First, a bull offers her all the fruit she wants from a beautiful garden if she'll just help water it for a bit. She says no. Then, a farmer named Harya offers her fresh grass in exchange for some milk, a totally fair trade. She turns that down too. The key thing here is that she had good, honest options, but she rejected both of them and instead chose path number 3, an unguarded field where she could just take whatever she wanted.
And this quote right here, it's her whole mindset in a nutshell. For Chameli, this isn't even about laziness anymore. It's a twisted kind of logic she uses to justify stealing. In her mind, why would anyone work when there's a free option right there? She doesn't see her choice as wrong, just efficient. Well, of course, as we all know, there's no such thing as free food. That easy choice to steal is about to have the hardest consequences you can imagine, and not just for her, but for the very children she was supposed to be feeding. And in a moment that just perfectly sums up her entire character, what does she do after gorging herself on stolen food? She falls asleep. Her laziness is so deep that even in the middle of committing a crime, she can't resist taking a nap. And that, of course, is when the owner of the field, a man named Shaman, finds her.
Her punishment is quick, and it's almost poetic, isn't it? For 3 long days, she's tied to a tree, forced to feel the exact same hunger and helplessness that her children felt. She's totally alone, with nowhere to run from the consequences of that one lazy decision.
At the same time, while Chameli is paying for her crime, the story cuts to the real victims, her kids. And here's the heartbreaking part. They know exactly who she is. They call her lazy and careless, but they're still worried sick about her. Their love is so strong that they set out to find her anyway.
So now we've got these two storylines happening at once. While Chameli is tied up and suffering, her kids are unknowingly retracing her path of shame. They find the bull and learn how their mom refused to work. They eventually find the farmer she turned down, showing up hungry and all alone. And right at that very same time, a little rat takes pity on Chameli, chews through her ropes, and sets her free to search for the children she so terribly failed.
And this is the gut punch of the story. Chameli finally tracks down the farmer, Harya, desperately hoping for news. And he tells her the truth as he knows it. Yes, they were here and I fed them. But after they left, a lion got them. Just like that, Chameli believes the ultimate price has been paid. Her children are dead.
In that moment of just absolute black despair, there are no more excuses. The chain of events is crystal clear. If she had just helped the bull, if she had just made a deal with the farmer, her kids never would have been out there, wandering alone. She realizes her laziness didn't just make them hungry, she believes it got them killed. But just as she hits absolute rock bottom, filled with a kind of grief and guilt she has never felt before, the story takes one last incredible turn.
Because this isn't just a story about punishment, it's also a story about redemption. She is completely broken. She's actually begging the farmer to tie her up again, saying she doesn't deserve to live. It is a total acceptance of her guilt. And right there, in that moment of complete surrender, she hears a sound she thought she would never, ever hear again.
And just like that, everything comes together. Her children are alive. The farmer was mistaken. And the unlikely hero of this whole story, that little rat, the very same creature that showed Chameli mercy, is the one who saved her kids from the lion and led them right back to her. At the end of it all, the farmer Haria really sums up the story's big lesson. It's the one that Chameli had to learn through so much suffering and what she thought was a terrible loss. Hard work isn't just about getting food. It's about providing safety, security, and peace of mind. And Chameli's transformation is absolutely complete. It's not just about saying sorry, it's about action. She goes right back to that farmer and asks for the very same job that she once turned down. By finally embracing hard work, she and her children find the security and happiness that her lazy shortcuts could never, ever provide. It's such a simple fable, but it has a really powerful warning, doesn't it? We all face our own versions of Chameli's choices every single day. The easy path versus the right one. Her story is a pretty chilling reminder that sometimes the shortcut is actually the longest, most painful road of all. So it makes you ask yourself, what easy choices in our own lives might be leading us down a path with a price we're not ready to pay?